Hey guys, it's John, ReelBlue Custom Rods, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to kind of continue a little bit of a build out on this box wrap. And if you did not see this video here where we did the box wrap, you can see that here in the upper right hand corner. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do some other different box wrap techniques to kind of, one, show you how to do them, and then two, just kind of fill this in. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start at the tip end of the rod and we're going to wrap down on our rod here, and I'm going to cross my points that I have. All right, that's one. And then what we're going to do is we're going to cut that. And we're going to come back down here and do that again. This time we're going to wrap on the top portion of that wrap. And when you're doing this box wrap, you want to have them basically equally spaced, and you know, you'll probably want to start off with about 1/8 of an inch, and then just as a starting point for your spacing. And then, you know, of course, go from there as you practice it, as you practice the box wrap. And of course, depending on the diameter of the build you've got going on and stuff. But in that previous video, you know, again, if you haven't seen this box wrap video when I did this initial box wrap, I encourage you to watch that video that I showed you there at the beginning, because that's going to tell you all of the specifics about the wrap when you start getting into, you know, spacing, things that you want to take into consideration, and all that stuff. And then now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back from the butt end. Coming in from the butt end of the wrap. And sorry, I'm just getting my space in here. Coming in from the butt end of the wrap, and coming down on the bottom. All right. And then we'll cut that, and then we'll repeat that wrap up at the top end. All right. Okay, and we'll come down here and tie that off. And then I'm going to come back with my orange, and then this again, this is Color Fast 210, that burnt orange color, and first color, green color is Pro Wrap Color Fast 552 size A. So I'm going to come back again from the butt of the blank or the rod. And then I'm going to wrap on the outside of these green wraps that I just made, starting on the bottom. And then we'll go down back to the butt and wrap towards the tip. And we'll come back on the top this time. And not a lot of pressure. I'm not pulling tight on the thread in my right hand here. And then I'm going to go right back down again on the outside of the bottom wrap that we did with that green thread. All right, and then we're going to pull that tight. And then come back to the top. All right. And then we're going to spend a couple of minutes here. Once we have that done, we're going to spend a couple minutes with our burnishing tool. And what we want to do, I'm just turning it so I can see at a good angle here. I'm just coming in and I'm making sure that my wraps are kind of symmetrical. I'm really not worried about these ends where I'm going to cover them up at, or what I would cover them with overwrap, but I want to make sure the main part that I want to be included in my wrap is symmetrical as possible and looking good, you know. All right. And just going through here. Okay. All right, I think that looks okay. So now what I'm going to do is we're going to do that again. And we're just going to repeat this step until I get the desired look that I'm going for here. So we're going to come on the inside with my green on the first green. All right. And we'll cut that off. We'll come back and do the second wrap up at the top. All right. And then just going to use my burnishing tool. I'm not moving things here. I'm just packing my threads, my green threads. I'm just making sure they're tight. Okay, and then I'm just going to come down on the inside of my green, going towards the tip now. All right. Then we'll get down here, pull that tight, we'll cut it. We'll go back to the butt and wrap towards the tip again on the upper side, but on the inside of that upper wrap that we did previously. Okay, and then I am going to pause here, and again, just pack threads. I'm not trying to move all these threads. I'm just trying to make sure that thread that I just laid down is up against the ones that I want them next to. And then again, this is where your wraps can, take some time. Don't rush it. And you'll see why I'm taking the time to make sure I'm packing these, because I'm not going to build this box wrap all the way out. So the part that I do use of this box wrap, I want to make sure that it is nice and tight with the rest of the wrap, right? All right. All right. So now we're going to come back with the orange. And actually what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to lay down some more tape. Just so we've got a good fresh amount of tape here for that thread to stick onto. All right, so we'll come back again with the orange, this time again at the butt of the rod, working towards the tip. Come underneath the bottom, and we're going to wrap on the outside. All right. Pull tight. And we'll come back again, do that on the top portion. Okay. And then I'm just going to take a few minutes here, pack this orange thread that I'm wrapping, or that I just wrapped. And then the same thing going back in the opposite direction. All right. And again, I'm taking the time to pack this thread because I'm not going to use this whole box. I'm not creating this wrap here again. That is not what I'm doing. So I want to make sure I'm taking the time to make sure that I'm packing these threads so the parts that I do have of the box wrap will be nice and tight. All right, so now we're going to go down from the tip towards the butt end with the orange on the outside. All right. We'll cut that. We'll come back again from the tip end. This time we'll be at the top. All right. And then that's it for the orange on that wrap. Again, I'm going to take some time, come back with my burnishing tool, make sure that thread I just laid down is packed up against the previous, wraps in that same color. All right, and you can see how this is all kind of starting to come together, right? You could leave this wrap like this if you wanted to, and where you see the wooden dowel, that could be exposed blank, that could be a metallic under wrap if you wanted. There's a lot of different things that you can do with that, and again, this is just an example of what you could do with that wrap. However, I am going to continue to wrap. So I'm going to come back in with the green again. And we're going to wrap down on the inside, on the bottom. All right. And we'll come back to the tip end of the rod, wrapping back towards the butt, this time on the upper portion of this green wrap. All right, and then we'll pull this one tight, cut that off. And then we're going to come in with our burnishing tools again and just apply a little pressure here, just packing these green threads that we just wrapped. Again, not a lot of pressure. I'm not trying to move anything other than just make sure these green threads are packed against the previous green thread that we wrapped. Okay. All right, and so now we're going to come from the bottom or from the butt end of the blank towards the tip with the green thread on the inside. All right, we'll cut that. We'll go back to the butt, work towards the tip. Wrap on the inside. All right, then we'll cut that. Burnishing tool time, come in there, pack those threads. And then do the same thing going back. Okay, let me just come back here and clean this up right out here a little bit. All right, now we're going to come back to the butt end with the orange and do our wraps on the outside. cut that. And it'll come down on the top part on the outside. All right. And what we're going to do is pack that orange thread there we just wrapped on both the top and the bottom. All right, and then now we're going to work from the tip towards the butt on the outside. All right, that's one, and one more on the top this time. All right. Okay, and then now what we're going to do is pack that thread again. And I'm going to pause and show you something here. All right, and then we'll go do the same thing going down. Okay, so that is where we're at so far. Again, this is something that I could leave alone like this. And I think it would look perfectly fine. You know, if I had a metallic wrap underneath there, you know, you could even probably, I don't know, 95-20 metallic green. That may be a little too dark underneath it. Or you could come back with 95-10, which is a bit lighter. You can see the difference here. This is the 95-10. You could have that underneath that. Or you can just go with something totally off the wall, maybe some 96-32, some lavender purple underneath that. That would probably look pretty wicked cool right there, I think. You know, or you can even do something, you know, a bit darker maybe in the purple if you wanted to, if you wanted something like that. So you could, oh, and actually, what is this one? This is 94-10. Maybe a little blue underneath it. So it just depends you have a lot of options. It just depends what it is you're trying to achieve. Sometimes I think you'll figure out that, you know, you have this idea that you want to do this wrap, right? And your intent is to do a complete wrap of the entire blank. You want to fill every, you know, nook and cranny in with thread. And I think what you guys will find, if you haven't done so already, or if you're new to rod building and you haven't tried this yet, I think what you'll find is sometimes you'll start with one thing in mind on how you think you want that wrap to look, and you will see a point when you get to that wrap and you're like, damn, I think this looks perfect this way, and I'm just going to leave it this way, and that's totally fine. Or you do what I was just saying, like if I had the intent to fill this whole wrap in, and I was like, well, crap, maybe I should have started with, you know, some metallic thread underneath this to see what this was going to look like. So what I am going to do is, again, I'm not trying to achieve this full box wrap. And, you know, like I showed in that first video, this full box wrap is essentially 4 boxes. 4 boxes, 1, 2, 3, 4, that come together in the middle to make one big box, this green one right here. But I have a orange, green, orange, green, orange, green, orange, green box, 4 of those that make that up. You are starting to see that here. So if I zoom in a little bit, you're starting to see those 4 boxes be created right there. And this is all that I am trying to achieve right now, are these 4 boxes. However, I want them to be a little bit bigger. I want them to be a little bit bigger. So I think what we're going to do is we're just going to keep wrapping a couple more times with the green and the orange, I think. So I think that's what we're going to do. And then we'll see, when I get to that point, we'll see what I decide, which direction I think I want this to go, or maybe which direction this wrap is going to drive me to go. So I hope you guys are getting something out of this video. So if you haven't done so already, I would really appreciate it if you hit the like button. Help the YouTube algorithm know that you like the video, and that will help you know, YouTube get the video out to other people that are interested in the same type of stuff that you are interested in watching, i.e. in this case, wrapping fishing rods. So again, if you haven't done so, please hit the thumbs up, give it a like, and also leave a comment if you have any questions. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love the opportunity to answer any questions that you guys may have, and I'm here to help. So, all right, so let's keep going. So now what we're going to do is we're going to come in with the green. I'm going to wrap back in on the inside. Going down, working down from the butt toward, or the tip towards the butt. All right, and then this is the first one. So we'll go back to the tip, do that again. This time towards the top. All right. I'll pull that down. Go give it a cut, and then we're just going to come in with a burnishing tool and just pack the thread. Again, I'm just trying to make sure I've got these threads touching each other. I'm not really trying to push anything. All right, same thing going back the other direction. And just use that tip of the burnishing tool, pack those corner pieces. And don't make those threads pop over like that. That's not what we want to happen. All right, and then we're going to start from the butt end, wrap towards the tip. Again, coming in on the bottom. All right. Then come back to the butt, go towards the tip at the top. Just being careful not to cross over the other threads, and just get them down as close as I can with my hand here before I come back in with the burnishing tool and pack those threads closer together. All right, so pull that down. All right, and then burnishing tool and pack these threads here. Same thing going back. All right, and then now we're going to come in again with that orange number 210 Pro Wrap Color Fast. And we're going to do the outside from the butt towards the tip on the bottom first. All right. And then at the top, And then what we'll do is before we work back down, I want to come in with that burnishing tool and pack these orange threads here on the bottom and on the top. All right. Oops. Okay, and then now we're going to work from the tip towards the butt on the bottom first. All right, and we'll do one more on the top. All right, and pack that thread. And I think I like these size boxes. I just want to pack the thread a little bit really quick, kind of before I make my mind up. So I think I like these size boxes here. So, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes. I think I like those. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start finding some other colors that I think I want to introduce. And I'm just trying to see, is that 301? 501. So that's 255. That's what I was using, and that's 501 next to it. And this one is 513 on the other side of that one. So I'm just trying to give myself some options here on some possible other colors I could use if I want to try to make something a little different here, and I don't want to get my colors confused there. So what I'm thinking, I'm trying to think. So what I think I want to do is I think I want to use a piece of yellow. I think I want to use a piece of yellow. And kind of come in here. right in the center of this wrap. Okay, and then I'm gonna go right back down towards the tip end. Okay, and then we'll tie that off. So I know I'm using this yellow. I don't know if I'm going to use these. I don't know if I'm going to use that. Now what I'm going to do on the outside of the orange, or the little boxes, so I want to start back down on this end. I'm going to come in, this is that 513. Come in on the bottom. Again, not a lot of pressure with the 513 here. And do that same thing at the top. Oh, I'm thinking, nope, I want to back this off. I messed that up, guys. I messed that up. But it's not bad. So with what I'm trying to do, I want to start here at the tip. Okay. There we go. I'll set that down. And we'll come back again to the tip end of the rod. Do the inside again on the green, but on the upper portion. And then let me lay that down. And I need to come back here. I saw something I wanted to adjust, I think. Oh, maybe not. Okay, and then we're going to come down on the bottom. Nope. We're going to come down on the inside. With this green on the green. Again, not a lot of pressure, right? Not a lot of pressure, not pulling really tight with this green against anything. Don't do that again. On the inside. All right, then we'll come back down to the butt end, work towards the tip, this time on the outside of the orange, starting on the bottom. And then, as you can tell, this is what's going to help us outline those 4 individual boxes completely. So all I did is I'm keeping the same process, if you will, but instead of using 2 colors, I'm just sticking with one color, and that's the color that I changed to, right? This green here. And that's going to help me just frame out those 4 individual boxes. So instead of making one big box, the 4 boxes that make that one big box are now individual boxes because we framed them in another color. Now, of course, you could continue to build into that box, and then you would now have, changed or just included a different color into that box if you keep wrapping it that way. So I guess that's a different way of saying we're still going to probably end up with something that looks like a box. One big box, but inside that one big box, you'll definitely be able to see 4 individual boxes, right? So I'm going to give that a tug. And because we're working on the outside there, I'm going to use my burnishing tool. Just pack the thread a little bit here. The same thing here. All right. And now we're going to wrap from the tip towards the butt. On the bottom here. All right. Then we'll come back to the tip again, wrap towards the butt again on the top. All right, we'll pull that tight. And we'll come back with our burnishing tools. And we'll pack these threads. Oh, popped over a little bit there. There we go. Do the same thing going down. All right. And then what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to come in, incorporate another color from the tip side, and we're going to want to come underneath. I want to make sure I'm not too, I mean, that's pretty different. My only other option is if I went more brighter, but then that and that color are close. Yeah, we'll see how this turns out. So we're going to come back in on the bottom, actually. And just lay these threads, this new color thread, as close as I can. To that yellow in the middle. All right. And then do the same thing again, but this time on the top. So essentially sandwiching that yellow thread. Like that. And then we're going to go down and repeat that pattern, this time on the bottom of the yellow. All right. And then we've cut that. We're going to come back here to the, again, what would be the butt. And we're going to come right in on the top. Again, sandwiching the yellow back in the opposite direction. And we'll tie that off. And then what I think I'm going to do, we're going to go ahead and get a little fresh tape down here. And on this end down here. So we got some fresh tape there. And we are good to go. And so that's where we're at so far. And I'm liking what I look, I'm thinking I like what I see. What do you guys think so far? Let me know down in the comments block. Let me know what you guys think. If you haven't hit the like button, hit the like button. And let me know what you think of this wrap so far. All right, so let's go ahead and keep going. All right, so come back with the green. We'll start at the butt and we're going to start framing this out. After we did that yellow wrap, we're going to come back in here with this green. And doing this green is what's going to help us enclose that and essentially keep the square, if you will. And we'll just lay this down right next to this one on the bottom. And then when we finish this one, come down to the end, wrap that. We'll come back up here to the top, do it again, or excuse me, to the butt, and do that again across the top portion of that. And again, with not a lot of pressure, we're just laying this next to this here, to this other green one on the top. And this is actually not going to stay like a square. I know I just said it, doing this green border is going to help keep that square, if you will, but it's actually not, because I'm running in the middle here with the yellow and I'm going across the middle, so it's going to extend the square in the middle, and you guys will see what I'm saying. So it won't be exactly a square, but it'll have a square-like appearance. But again, remember, all I really wanted was these 4 little squares here on the outside. And so now I'm just packing the thread. All right. All right, and then now I'm going to start from the tip end and go towards the butt and frame that back part out again. All right. And then we'll go back to the tip, do it again across the bottom. And I really like this green. As you start to add more of it, it's a really good contrast with this other yellow green that I'm using here in this orange. And I believe this one is called Avocado, if I remember correctly. Pro Wrap Color Fast. And the number is 513. I really like this color. That's a good color right there. And so now I'm going to take my burnishing tool and just pack those threads. And the same thing going down across the top. All right, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do one more of this orangish color here. I'm going to come down the middle. I'm debating if I want to keep going with this color or if I want to bring, yeah, you know what? I'm going to bring in another color really quick. So this is Pro Wrap Color Fast 216. So now this was the first orange color that I was wrapping in. This was the second one that I brought in, and now I'm using this third one here. And I'm kind of keeping these threads in groups. And wrapping that down. Trying to keep that next to that previous orange. Okay. And then we're going to come back again to the top, and we're going to do that on the other side again, sandwiching. Sandwiching those previous wraps in the center. All right, and then we're gonna come right back down and do that in the center. Again, this time going back on the bottom. And there we go. And we'll cut that. Come back to the top. Again, making those sandwiches right there. All right. Pull that tight. And then I'm going to come back with the green, that avocado. I'm going to go down on the bottom. All right. And you can see, well, I'll wait and point it out to you here. Once I get done with this avocado color here. All right, and then I'll do the box on the other side, or the framing, if you will, on the other side really quick after I pack these colors, and then I'll show you what I want to point out here in a second. Just packing these really quick. Okay, keep packing. All right, and so now we're going to wrap down from the tip towards the butt to frame out those wraps that we did. Okay, and we'll cut that, and we'll come back down and repeat that again. On the bottom. Okay, and then now that is done, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back with my burnishing tool, pack my threads, all right, and then come back down across the top. Okay. Now, what I was going to show you is you can see here how it's starting to stick outside the box. So it's not just boxed, it's starting to kind of protrude out, and it'll elongate, but it'll be tight here in the middle, and it'll almost come out like a fork. So almost like that. So the color will be on the inside, and then each side, as it goes further out, will get wider here, if you can see that right there. That's what I'm talking about. So, and And that's because I keep framing it, but that's also because I started wrapping from the middle and then working to the outside. I'm thinking I'm going to go with one more color before I get into that. And I think I'm going to use this one here. And this is Pro Wrap Color Fast 316. And we're going to start at the tip. And we're going to come down. Right in the middle, if you will. And I'm on the top of that last wrap I did. All right. And then we will do that again. On the bottom side, kind of, again, sandwiching that center wrap. And I'm just trying to get it right next to that other thread that I wrapped without crossing over it. Okay, and then I'm going to come back down the other direction. All right. And again, I'm not pulling, I'm just trying to be very careful where I'm laying this thread at. And that is why right there, because I got this piece. Just like that, and that's not how I want it. There we go. There we go. Got that part fixed. Okay, then we're going to come back. Do that again on the top. All right. And then once we're done with that, we're going to come back with the avocado again. And we're going to wrap out our frame here on the outside. All right, we'll cut that. Now we'll come down on the top. Just being very careful again, just laying this down. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we're going to use our burnishing tool to pack that green thread we just laid down on both the top and the bottom. And same thing here on the top. Okay, and then now we're going to avocado from the tip of the rod towards the butt, doing the bottom and the top again there. All right, and we'll come back to the tip end of the rod and do that same thing on the top, wrapping back towards the butt. I hope you guys are getting something out of this video, and if you haven't hit the like button yet, please do, and let me know what you think. You know, whether you want to hit the like button or the thumbs up or the thumbs down, it's up to you. But if you haven't done either of those, please do, and just let you know. That way I know what you think about the content. And then also, if you want to comment, go ahead and comment down there and let me know what you think. Or if you have any questions, about the colors I'm choosing, or the wrap that I'm doing here, if you want to know the method behind the madness or anything like that, just leave a comment down there, and I'll gladly answer it. As I think I have a pretty good success rate on answering at least 98% of the comments in the comments block. So now I'm going to use my burnishing tool, pack this green thread all the way down. Again, do that coming back. All right. Oh, got a little pop over right here. Let me fix that up a little bit. Okay. So I think I'm going to do one more color on here. And I think that's going to be, that's going to be 325 size A. And that's a red. So that's a bit darker than what I just used. So this was the 316 that I just previously used. I'm just kind of getting my thread put away there. That was the 316. And then this is the 325. So we could see a little bit of that difference there. But I'm going to come in with this darker red. And I think this will be the last wrap in the center of these boxes, if you will. And now what I want to do, I want to make sure I get these laid right where I need them to go. All right. It looks like we're doing okay here. I'm just eyeballing to make sure I get this in the right spot. Because when you're just trying to lay a piece of thread down between two other threads where there's only space for one more thread, it's tricky on the eyes, if you will. So I'm going to do the same thing going down now. All right. Okay, and now we're going to go back doing the same thing. Come in on the bottom first. Oops. Okay. And we'll do one more from the butt end of the rod towards the tip on the top. All right. Wow, that is a bit challenging. All right, and I'm gonna go ahead and lock down this thread in the spool. All right, now what I'm gonna do, before I come back with the orange or the green, I'm gonna use my burnishing tool. Again, excuse me, use my burnishing tool and I'm gonna pack these threads. And I'm just doing this before I come back over with the green, because of course it's going to be one more layer of green if I did it after. So I'm just coming through. All right. All right, and we do the same thing going this way. These parts really bow out in the middle a little bit. I'm just pushing those back in. And I'm not too worried about those. You know, if you remember previous videos where I did this on the cross wrap, you know, these parts, if you're wrapping the entire blank, will get covered by your wrap. But I'm just trying to get that laid down a bit. Okay, so now I'm going to come back with my green avocado. I'm going to frame out the bottom. And this will essentially close this in. Not a lot of pressure. Don't pull tight. That's one. Go back down to the butt end, come across the top. Working towards the tip now. Okay, and then we'll pull that tight. And then burnishing tool, pack the thread. And then back across the top. Okay, and then from the tip towards the butt this time, again framing out the bottom and the top. Okay. And I come across the top now. All right, pull that down, and then burnishing tool. All right. And doing this across the top again. And then that's it. And then that's that part of the wrap. So again, you can see, you know, it's 4 individual squares, the orange and green squares. And then you can see kind of this cross pattern on the inside, and then kind of how it flares out right here. So it's still a box because I framed it, right? Excuse me. It's still a box because I framed it in the green. So it's just a little bit longer, but I've got this cross pattern now inside of the box. So just a technique or you know, a way to do that. And so now I just have to figure out what I want to do for the rest of this wrap, or how I want to fill things in. And so now I got to think this through. So let's keep going. But again, let me know what you think. Do you guys like this wrap? Do you think it's cool? Do you like the colors? You know, let me know down in the comments block. Let me know what you think. I really like to hear from you. All right, so let's go ahead, and I'm debating if I want to do one more green wrap on here to frame this out just a little bit more. I'm debating if I want to do it one more time, but I'm not sure. I think it would look cool if I did it one more time. Again, I'm not sure. Okay, I know what we're going to do. All right, so now what I'm going to do is we're going to border out the initial box wrap that we did. The same way that we were bordering out with this green earlier. So we're going to work from the butt to the tip on the bottom, and I think we're going to just do one span of this green just to get it to stand out. So that's one. We'll come back down here, do that again, this time across the top. And then once we get down here to the end, we will come back across the bottom. Making sure we're not crossing over any of these other threads. All right, and then we'll come back to the tip and we'll do that one more time across the top of that. Just like this. And then as I'm doing this, I'm thinking through like my next step here. And I think what we're going to do is we are going to just repeat this kind of sunburst red orange stuff, but in a different way this time. I'm just going to add a little bit more tape. We got some fresh surface as we work towards the home stretch on this wrap here. All right, and so now what I think we're going to do, take a look at all that, and I think that looks good. Oh, that popped over. So that green thread popped right over. There we go. I'll just come back with the burnishing tool, lay it down, pack it up against the orange thread. Okay, so now what I think we're going to do is we're going to take the red thread. We're going to start at the top. Again, this is a 325. We are going to start at the top. And work our way down through here. Kind of just laying it down in the middle. All right. And then I want to come back here. All right. And then we're going to kind of go in reverse order. I'm going to come back in with this orange. And lay this underneath. All right, pull that tight. And we're going to come back to the tip end again. We're going to go right back down and do the same thing. This time on the top, we're just sandwiching that red thread. All right. And then we're going to come down, do the same thing going back. And laying that orange thread under the red. And then cut that. Go back to the butt. And then come back down on the top. And sandwich that red thread in there. All right, and then we'll pull that down, cut it. Oh, I made a mistake. I made a mistake. All right, I made a mistake, team. Hate when that happens, but hey, it is what it is. So let me fix this really quick. All right. Oh, yeah. Okay, so it's not a terrible mistake, but it's a mistake. So I'm just going to take all this orange thread that I just put down off of here. And what I needed to do was come in with that other color. That was more magenta-ish. So I started with the red, the 325, right, on that single wrap. I needed to come back with the 316 first. So let me come in here with the 316 and do the same thing next to that red wrap. And then that way it's going to give me the same. All I'm doing is I'm reversing this previous pattern. I'm not replicating the same pattern per se. I guess I kind of am without the framing with the green. But what I'm doing is I'm just reversing the colors that I used, or reversing the order of the colors that I used. So I started with the red. Now I'm going with this 316, if you will, magenta status color. All right, pull that down there, tie it off, come back to the top and do the same thing with that red thread, but this time we're just going to sandwich it with the magentas. All right, and then we're going to go down. Making sure I stay on the bottom side of this red. All right, and then we'll come back down to the butt end. We'll do that one more time, this time on the top. Just sandwiching that red thread. All right, there we go. So now we finish that one with the magenta, and then we have the red. Just getting these threads tied off on these spools here, and then situating them. Now I'm going to come in with the 216, the orange, and we're going to sandwich the red and the magenta with the orange, if you will. Just taking, being extra patient here and cautious, not trying to cross over on that red or magenta thread, right? Go down. Come back to the tip end. Again, working towards the butt. This time sandwiching. All right, and then we'll come back down on the bottom. All right, and we'll cut that. We'll come back to the butt end and then do the last one, sandwiching this one on the top here. All right. Okay. And we'll pull that tight. And we'll set this 3/16 aside, and then we're going to come in with kind of a, I don't know what this color is, and I don't have the number on it. I'm sorry, guys, but this is this other yellow gold color. So we're going to come down here. Just laying that in nice and carefully. All right. And we'll do that again. All right, and then we'll get down here to the end. We will reverse back up towards the tip from the butt end, come down on the bottom first. All right. Then we'll come back down and do another one. We get the final one with this color here. Come down on the top. All right. And then we will come in with the yellow. That's 119. All right. Oops. All right, and come back to the tip end. Again, working back towards the butt end. All right. And then come back down on the bottom. And then we do that one more time from the butt end to the tip. And then what we're going to do is go one more time down with this yellow on the bottom. And then we'll do that on the top portion again. hand, just taking a look. All right, I'm going to go back down now. All right. Then we'll go down on the top. Okay. And then we're gonna pull that tight there. And I'm gonna start burnishing these threads down. All right. Okay. There, so we just burnished that down. And now all we have left to do is fill in this space right here, that one strap there, and we're going to figure out how we're going to do that and like which pattern. And you can see I just got a yellow thread popped over that green thread, but that's okay. It's just working on a dowel, so not too big of a deal. But anyways, so that's that part there. And let's go ahead and keep finishing this wrap and fill the rest of this stuff in so we can see what that's going to look like. All right, guys, so now what we're going to do is we're going to finish up this middle. I'm going to come back in with the 325 red Pro Wrap Color Fast thread. Again, starting at the tip end of the blank here. And then trying to find kind of my sweet spot, if you will. Center right down that blank. All right, and then we're going to come back. Coming right back down here. And it's just a one red. And all we're going to do is we're going to repeat this wrap here. We're just going to repeat that same technique. All right. So that takes care of the red. And now what we're going to do, we're going to put that away. We're going to come back with the 316 magenta color. And we are going to come down on the bottom of that red. All right, and we'll cut that. Come back to the tip end. Do the same thing this time on the top, just sandwiching that red thread. All right, and we're going to go right back down on the bottom of that red thread. All right, and we'll cut that. And then we're going to come down and sandwich it on the top. All right, and then tie that off down here. And again, that's it with the 316. Just roll that back on, put that away. All right, and then we're going to come in with the 216, which is the orange. Again, from the tip end, working towards the butt end. And again, sandwiching. All right. And then we'll cut that, bring it back down. Sandwich that on the top. All right, and we'll wrap right back down on the bottom. All right. And then come back to the butt end and then sandwich on the top. All right, that takes care of that portion. And so now we're done with the 216. Now we're going to come in with the kind of mustard color. Don't remember the number on this one, but we're going to come in here and come underneath. And wrap this down. And I'm just kind of trying to turn it slow to make sure I get that thread where I need it to be at. All right. And then we'll cut that. And we'll do that again, this time on the top. All right, and then we're going to go down and wrap on the bottom. Okay. And then we're going to come back to the butt end. And again, wrap towards the tip, this time on the top. All right. And then we're going to come in and finish that out with the yellow, with the 119. And we'll wrap that down, come underneath the bottom. All right. And then on the top, all right. It's quiet. You can hear a pin drop. Just trying to focus on getting this in there. Now we're going to come back down on the bottom with the yellow. Just trying to lay this yellow thread down nice and close to that orange, because I got to squeeze one more complete go around of this yellow. All right, so we're going to wrap down. Go across the top. Now just keep wrapping this yellow thread on the top. All right. All right, and now we're going to go back down one more time with this yellow on the bottom. Okay. Then we're going to come down on the top. All right, and then we're going to come down on the bottom. All right. And then we're going to do one more at the top. All right, and then I think I'm just looking. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pause there. And now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to use the burnishing tool here. And I'm just using the round part of the burnishing tool, just moving these threads back and forth. And just help flatten these threads out a bit. But you guys can see, you know, what this design looks like and how it came out. And that's really it, man. And, you know, I mean, it's pretty easy to do. Takes a lot of time, as you guys are well aware. But that's the design that we came up with just by doing different variations of the square wrap. So I hope this video helps. I hope it gives you some ideas on different ways to do the wraps. And I hope you guys give it a shot. I hope it helps you create something unique and you know, your own unique and custom build there. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments block. I truly appreciate you. Please hit the like button if you have not done so already. Let me know what you think in the comments block. And until next time, guys, make sure you guys watch this next video here. Take care. Bye.